Colorado's car scene has more to offer than just four-wheeling. Don't believe me? Let me show you.
No, your eyes do not deceive you. And all of that is a lot of Alfa Romeo.
Hey everyone, welcome to my announcement of my new series, The Car Enthusiast Guide to Colorado. I wanted to take this time to kind of explain what the series is, the motivation behind it, and who it's for. So let's start with what this series is. The name kind of gives it away. It's a Car Enthusiast Guide to Colorado. But what that means is me going to events and showcasing what Colorado car culture has to offer outside of four-wheeling, even though I do want to say I will go to four-wheeling events eventually. But the reason why I wanted to start outside of the start off not with the four-wheeling events is because I think people have the misconception that a vast majority of Colorado's car culture is about four-wheeling, and don't get me wrong, like that's true to an extent, but Colorado's car culture genuinely has a lot more to offer than just going up into the mountains in a Jeep and trying not to roll over, right? Though that does sound like a great bit of fun. And I mean, you guys have seen this in one way or another. The times I've gone to High Plains, the Meekum events, if you guys check my website with any level of frequency, I went to a Cars and Coffee a couple years ago, and many more things besides that I haven't even covered. Hell, you might have actually seen, that article might not be on the site, but I did go to this place called Rambler Ranch a couple years ago too. Point is, there's so much more to Colorado's car culture than just off-roading, and I feel the misconception that Colorado's automotive activities extend almost exclusively to just four-wheeling does a great disservice to all that you can actually do in the state, to all there is to do in the state that doesn't involve that. So that's what the series aims to highlight, at least for the most part, at least for the time being, because like I said, I will eventually go to the four-wheeling world and see what that has to offer, because of course I would be remiss for not talking about that, because it is such a big part of Colorado's automotive enthusiasm, because we have mountains and great trails. Of course there are going to be a bunch of off-road enthusiasts who want to take advantage of that. So I'm not ignoring that, I'm not trying to sidestep it. I just want to highlight this other area of car culture that I don't think the state gets recognized enough for. That's not the entire motivation behind why I want to do this series, though. Another motivation came from years ago, actually, back when this YouTube channel was called Viper for Life, when the only Cody's Car Conundrum was the podcast, 2016-2017 era. Back then, I had no idea what events there were in Colorado. I had no idea that we had cool events, that there even was a car culture in the state, more or less. And just by chance, I happened to go to the Haggerty F1 watch parties that I think I might have posted on the website a couple of times. I might make some new posts about that just so you can see, just as like a Throwback Thursday. But I just happened to go to those events and make some friends with the Haggerty insurance. And not all of them were insurance agents, but with some of the Haggerty employees. And this one guy in particular, William, he had a race prep Lotus Cortina, and he invited me out to High Plains that year for the Ignite, this company called Ignite Performance, who specialize in performance, as you probably imagine, but it seems they definitely specialize in 240Zs and some classic performance cars of that type. But they were having a customer appreciation day back then, and he invited me out to High Plains, and we didn't really know that it was a thing. We didn't know that High Plains was a thing, and found out that it was like an hour and 45 minutes. So we took the drive all the way out, and that's where, if you scroll far enough back, or if you go to oldest, that video of me riding in the Lotus, that's how that happened. And that just opened up so many doors. I was like, wow, we have a cool racetrack not far from where I live. Wow, that's amazing. That's great. I had no idea. And like I said, that just opened up so many doors, and then getting in with the Rocky Mountain Automotive Press, that opened up even more doors for me. And thinking back on that years later, it just made me wonder, made me ponder how many more kids are like me that have no idea what awesome car events actually exist in this state. I should clarify, I should add some context. The one car event that I did know about was the Lincoln Tech car show that I'm probably going to go to later this month. That was one of the few that I knew about, and then the Denver Auto Show. I was like, Lincoln Tech, Denver Auto Show. That's it. That was all that I really knew about, and that's 2 events, and both are annual. It's like, that's not enough for me to get my automotive fix. And so that was really the big motivation behind doing the series, is how many people don't know of all the awesome events that go on in this state. Just how many do not know. Because it's way better than I ever could have imagined. I'm so grateful that this state has decent car culture. Speaking of how many people don't know, who is this series for? And it's not exclusive, but a main focus of who the series is for is people who don't know, or people who are moving into this state, who don't know what the car culture is like, who haven't made the rounds to figure out what it's really like, who haven't really been introduced to anybody. And this part comes from a video that I watched from That Dude in Blue, actually, years ago, where he moved from somewhere more north on the East Coast to somewhere more south. I think it was like Georgia or something. And he was saying that when he moved, he didn't know the local car scene. He didn't really know anybody, didn't know what it was like, didn't know what to expect. And thinking about that made me realize, okay, how many other people who have moved from out of state with their cool cars are in the same boat? They don't know what their local area or the state as a whole, depending on how much they want to travel, they just don't know what this state has to offer for car events. They don't know where to go, where to hang out, right? They just have no idea because they've only just moved here. And it's not like they were in a Colorado Cars and Coffee Facebook group. There's a great one, by the way, that you should definitely join if this is something that's resonating with you. You know, they didn't know to join this beforehand, especially because they weren't in the state. Why would they care? And so that was another big reason for me wanting to do this series, wanting to start this series, was how many people are moving into this state. And Colorado's growing, so, and some of them are car enthusiasts, so how many of them don't know? And then the people who have lived here and have had maybe something of a passing interest in cars, but don't know enough to figure out where to go to indulge in their passing interest when they want to. Or kids like me, again, who don't know to ask, hey, Dad, Mom, can we go to this event on the 13th of May or whatever, or, you know, this Saturday in a month, who just don't know. And so those are all the reasons why I wanted to do this series, and I hope that the series helps you, and I hope that it brings greater awareness to Colorado's great car culture, because I could have only hoped to have a series like this when I was a kid, so I could have asked, hey, can we go to this and that, because there were tons of events years ago. It's not like the car scene just randomly exploded. It's been here. I just didn't know, had no idea where to look. Of course, I wasn't really on social media either, but I don't think anyone at that time was really doing car events in the enthusiast sector that much on YouTube either. So that's where I want to fill that niche. I want to fill that gap so more people can find out. And this also, in turn, hopefully will help these events grow and become more popular and be able to be more spectacular as time goes on. But that is why this series, that's why I'm doing this new series, and that's why it's a thing, and that's why you will see it a lot more in the coming months on this channel. So I hope you enjoy those videos. I hope you find them very helpful. The first one's coming up very soon. It took me a little while. Life happened, but the very first video is coming up very soon, and I think it's pretty poignant that event is the very first one, considering it's been such a mainstay. It's been such a mainstay event in Colorado, so I hope you all look forward to that and future videos. If you enjoyed this one and the later ones, then please like, comment, share, and consider subscribing. If you think I earned it, if I did, then please hit the little notification bell, and then either hit all notifications or some of the notifications. That way you either don't miss any of my uploads, or you just only see a couple ones here or there. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time.